Afternoon, YouTube. This is going to be my review of a Chinese knife I received it about a month ago, and the manufacturer of it is Enlan, E-N-L-A-N. Model number on it is an EL04MCT, and got it now for about a month, like I said, a little bit, maybe a little bit more. It took me about 30 days to get the item in once I ordered it. And I got it in from a website, or I ordered it in from a website, Exoduct, exduct.com. And notice the same knife is for sale, probably from the same people, on eBay. The Exoduct final price came to $17.50. The eBay price with shipping came to $15.99. I would probably go the eBay route if I was to do it all over again. I don't think eBay is any faster in delivering the product. I still think it comes overseas. So just keep that in mind. But here's what I found in the knife. And first and foremost is that you'll see that it has that ever so popular axis lock that Benchmade has made popular. And they've copied it. And we're looking at black and green, I should say black with green inlay, Micarta scales. Overall length of the knife is 7.87 inches. Blade length on it is 3.35. The blade steel is that 8CR13 MOV. We've seen a lot of Kershaw overseas product, Spyderco product from overseas using that same blade steel. It's a pretty good blade steel. I haven't really noticed any problems with it. My EDC is a Spyderco knife right now using that blade steel. And I've had good luck with it. Keeps an edge pretty good, pretty easy to sharpen. I didn't notice any problem with corrosion, rusting, anything like that with the blade once it gets wet. So I would say overall, pretty good blade steel from China. This knife, as far as the grind on it, it's got a high flat ground. Let's see if I can get a better picture of it, a little bit more in focus. It's a drop point, traditional drop point that you've seen. Really, really nice grind. And it's got the model number, which they list as an EL04, which is shared by another knife with not the same handle material. You can see that textured micarta. It's got, let's see if I can get that to show up, cutouts for your fingers. You get a very sure grip with it. It's got stainless steel liners. And it actually is skeletonized just a bit. They could have done a lot more with it. We'll go into some detail about that in just a second. Got some pillars inside. Very open knife, easy to clean, easy to blow out and get all the dust and the dirt and everything else like that through it. And it is an axis lock, so obviously you're not going to see anything. The liners are going to be stationary. I know that I don't think that those cutouts are coming through. And I did notice on my cutouts, as far as the skeletonizing, that it does have some rust in it. Just a bit. No big deal. I could take a brush in there, as open as it is, clean it out if I wanted to, but I really don't think it's that big of a deal. Here's your pocket clip. Just stainless steel. It's got some really good retention, maybe almost too much retention, if that's even possible. Keep in mind it's going to set about this much exposed into your pocket. It is single position, non-reversible. And if you're a tip-up carry kind of person and you're right-handed, this is a good knife and option for you. If you're not, this isn't the knife. The handle's absolutely beautiful. I'll give them that. They did a very, very nice job on the handle. Pivot. Just like anything else, it's easy to open and easy to close. This particular pivot has got some oomph to it. I have heard people over the internet, and you don't hear anybody over the internet, but you do watch and read reviews. People have gone in, taken the scales off, cut back the springs, or bend back the springs to allow less of a tension on that pivot. I noticed that after a while it does seem to work a little bit easier. If you just keep messing around with it, operating it. Obviously we love the pivot because we love to play with it. It's a very fast knife. It's got great retention in the handle. The blade's not going to fly out. And yes, there is some jimping. Let's see if I can get a close up there on the jimping. And it actually is very useful jimping. It actually has some good grip to it. Pretty thick blade. Came out of the box, okay. Not super sharp, but carries a halfway decent edge to it. Those guys that are really after a very, very fine edge, we'll touch that up, there's no doubt about it. Length on it overall is 7.87 inches. Blade length on it is 3.35. Now, are you ready? As you guys probably already picked up, the weight is 5.65 ounces. That's pretty heavy. God, I don't want to sound like nothing fancy when I say that, but it's an EDC in my opinion. That blade length is pretty good. I mean, 3.35 could probably have a different application if need be, but I would probably put in that category of EDC. That micarta is textured, and I don't think it's showing up on the camera, but I hope it is. It's got a really nice grip, and it sets well in the hand. Again, and as I've said in other videos, I've got a medium-sized hand. It might be a bit small for those folks with a larger hand. I can see I've got a little bit of handle to work with, but not much. Lanyard hole at the very end. Not that this would be a knife that I would put a lanyard on too. And I wish almost on this side that they would have just said screw the lanyard hole and put the clip as far down at the end as they could have. But got a special tool if you want to remove the handles or the scales. And a pivot screw tool is what they call online. You pick one up. I noticed I was able to get this off with some needle nose pliers, some really small needle nose pliers. I will tell you that I did not have much luck with the rest of the screw heads. They're a Torx bit, and I couldn't find a Torx bit. I've got all of them that would fit it and not strip it out, so I didn't take any chances. I did want to go inside the knife and see if I could screw with those springs on the pivot and get them to be a little bit easier to use. But after taking a couple out and not getting the others out, I said screw it, put it back together, and did not mess with it anymore. I was able to track with the flashlight some phosphorus bronze bushings. So I think the material that they used was actually fairly good. Stainless steel liners. That metal has got some pretty good reviews out there and has been used now for several years. The black, green micarta scales are very, very nice. The cutout is good. I think the pocket clip would be okay even with those grooves cut out, and I don't think they would screw up your pants or start to wear on the pant pocket. I mean, it's a bench-made copy at the price point that you're paying at it. And if you're a right-hand tip-up carry guy, which if you're going to use this type of axis lock, you're going to be wanting it in a tip-up type situation. When you put your hand inside the pocket, it's naturally going to put your fingers onto the axis lock, and that is going to be my preferred way of opening the blade and shutting the blade. You got two thumb studs. They work fine. There is absolutely no issue with them either. Well, if I can deploy it. It comes out really fast and smooth. There is no doubt about it. Centering, almost dead on. And, you know, other than that, the weight is an issue for me. That and the fact that you're not going to remove those handles unless my Torx bit screws are just jacked. But if that's your idea of going in there and messing with this spring, because it does have a lot of tension, it's not bench made, then good luck with that. But the weight, it's just 5.65 ounces. That's about an ounce, maybe an ounce and a half too heavy for me for an everyday carry knife. I don't think less of me for saying the weight issue. If you guys don't mind heavy knives, this is a great deal and a good knife. It's just like I said, I want something that I know I have in the pocket, but it doesn't remind me every second that it's in my pocket. And this is just a little bit on the heavy side. It's a very rugged, sturdy knife, though. And it's a very good looking knife at that. And the price point, give me a break. I mean, you just can't beat that. So let's talk about another knife that this one is mimicking. But it's that Benchmade Griptilian. Now this is an older version. I've had that knife probably for about, I want to say maybe 8 to 9, 10 years. And this knife is using a blade steel of a 440C. I'm not a fan. The blade steel on it, what I've found is that it has doesn't carry much of an edge for a long period of time. It's easy to sharpen. I haven't had any problems with rusting or corrosion or anything else like that, but just not my preferred. This knife in today's day and age is made with a 154 CM, which I think is a superior blade steel to the 440C. The knives are almost identical in size. The blade on this one's 3.45, and again we're talking about a 3.35 on the other one. Overall is 8.07 inches, but 3.25 ounces is what this knife weighs. Very easy in the pocket, very easy to carry. To me, if I was carrying one of the other, I would carry this knife. And I have. This knife has been beat up. It's a reversible pocket clip, as you guys all know. It's a very, very popular knife. It comes in many different colors of handle nowadays, and with good reason. It's got a plastic feel to it, but actually it's got some very good grip to the handle itself. It's not micarta. It's kind of like a reinforced glass nylon, or as you guys know what I'm going to say, plastic. But it's very light, and you know, it is what I would consider to be an excellent EDC knife. It's closed all the way through. It's going to take a little bit of cleaning. This one is very dirty, but you can see that these knives are very common in characteristics other than just that axis lock. Blade shape, blade design, and you know, if I was to pick one or the other, I would pick this to carry. It's the weight is the big issue. This knife, I think the jimping on the top of it is much better. I like the blade shape, even though they're very similar. I like the grind better, and I think that blade steel, I might even take that Chinese blade steel over that 440C, but not an issue in today's day and age, since I just got done telling you guys that all of these coming out with the 154 CM today's day and age. This is a modified drop point. Benchmade logo there, thumb studs on each side, again lefty righty, and it's a tip-up carry, which is fine. It's just this knife is a right hand only. You can't reverse that, so it is what it is. But that's the review I've got. You guys got any questions on it or anything else like that, let me know. I would say if I was doing a 1 to 10, I'd probably give this knife a 6, maybe a 7, and I'd give this one probably a 9. In today's day and age, I'd give this model probably an 8 or a 7, just because that steel that it uses. But the latest and greatest of these knives come out with a better steel. This is made in the USA, and this is made in China. So obviously a little bit of a difference, but not as much as you would think. And you know what? For the price point, there's no reason in the world why you wouldn't want to give this a try. I just, you know, if it's that weight is something that you wouldn't carry, then there's no reason to buy it, even at the deal that it is at $15.99 at eBay. So, any questions on it, comments, feel free to leave them below. Appreciate your time. Take care.